Welcome to High Ground. My name is Tanner, and these are going to be my predictions for NAL Stage 3, play day number 6. I'm just going to do this one pretty quickly. So, day number 5 recap. Parabellum take down Astralis in a bit of a nail-biter. Boris popped off for Astralis against Beast Coast, but Blaz pop off for Parabellum against Astralis, both of them on Villa. Like 21 kills coming out from Blaz, looking like one of the best fraggers in the league. And so I get this one wrong, but a very, very close game. TSM take down Oxygen, maybe closer than people would have expected, 7-5 scoreline. I was expecting a little bit of bounce back from Oxygen, but not enough to get the win. Basically, this is what happened. And so I did get that one right. Dark Zero take down Space Station, and I picked Space Station. It was a close game. Space Station got off to a pretty big lead, like 4-1, but it turned out to be a very defensive-sided Cafe, and Dark Zero just got one more round on their defensive half than Space Station got on theirs, resulted in them winning, and it came down to a 1v1 between NJR and Bosco, and NJR won it to deny Space Station overtime, get the full 3 points to Dark Zero. Soniqs versus Beast Coast. It started out pretty close, 3-3 half, and then Soniqs won the next 4 rounds to win it 7-3, so probably about the scoreline you expected, but again, it started out closer than you might have anticipated. And then Xset versus Mirage. You got to feel for Mirage. Back-to-back 6-8 losses where they got come back on, so not as bad as the first one. Space Station was down 1-6 and then won 7 rounds in a row. Xset was down 4-6, won 4 rounds in a row. So 2 points out of the week when it seemed like it probably should have got the full 6. So Mirage looked pretty good, but maybe they are just chokers. Maybe they just got to tighten up a little bit. So, I mean, yeah, they were very close to getting the full 6 points, and for that reason they look good, but of course letting it slip does not look good. So let's go over day 6 predictions. Astralis versus Space Station. Very close game, I'd say, in terms of predictions. They're both very close on the scoreboard, 7 points apiece. And so I'm going to give the nod to Space Station. They are on this. They're higher on the scoreboard by way of round differential. And I don't know. I just feel like they've looked like a little bit more of a cohesive unit than Astralis. And Astralis, I think J9O had a pretty good game in the last game, which they just lost. But besides that, him and DP Fire and Shuttle have all been struggling pretty hard this stage. It's mostly just been Forest and Iconic showing up fairly consistently. And I mean, that's no way to be a team, I guess. So Astralis does have the head-to-head 2-0 on the season. This would be 3-0 if they win. So we'll see if Space Station can bounce back. I'm going to go Space Station. If they lose it here, well, I might have to stop predicting Space Station. But then they play against Beast Coast, so we'll see, actually. Xset versus TSM. Another fairly close one on paper earlier in the stage. Right now, TSM are like way above Xset. Well, maybe not way above. They're a full 4 points, which is a significant margin. Xset in 4th place, TSM in 1st place. I'm going to go with TSM. Xset, they've been the picture of consistency up until this stage, and they're still doing pretty well, I suppose. They did place 4th the last 2 stages, so they're in the exact position they should be based on that. But yeah, TSM has looked not completely flawless. They took that loss against Astralis, but besides that, they've looked very, very solid. And Xset a little bit shaky. I'll give the nod to TSM. Oxygen versus Beast Coast, the battle of the teams on 1 point. I mean, Oxygen has obviously been bad, but Beast Coast is like a different level of bad. And they've had their moments, I suppose. Maybe some halves of some games they've looked good. But with the trajectory Oxygen's on, with the role changes in the last game, with almost taking TSM to overtime, I'm going to give them the nod, plus the historical aspect. Yeah, Oxygen just is a pretty well pedigreed team, whereas Beast Coast is a non-pedigreed team. Yeah, gonna go with Oxygen there. Then we have Soniqs versus Parabellum, and well, this looks like it should be a good match, especially with how Blaz was playing. I won't say Parabellum was playing incredibly as a team. Again, they did sort of get carried by Blaz to the victory, but maybe it'll be exciting in this regard. Soniqs firing on all cylinders. They took the pretty bad loss to TSM, but besides that, yeah, I mean, perfect. So I'll give it to Soniqs for sure. And then Dark Zero versus Mirage. So Mirage, I mean, maybe I'd give it to them if they'd taken both these wins, but Dark Zero, since Skies has come on, they have not dropped a single point. They've looked really, really solid. And I'm just going to give the nod to Dark Zero because, I mean, they feel like the favorite, though I would expect Mirage should give them some trouble, and maybe Mirage will just outright win it. We'll have to see. If Mirage does not win this game, that's probably their major dreams dashed, but not entirely. You know, if they win the next 3 after that, 17 points could get them there, but this seems like a pivotal game for Mirage. So yeah, that's going to do it for my predictions. I'll go down the line one more time. I have I have Space Station over Astralis, TSM over Xset, Oxygen over Beast Coast, Soniqs over Parabellum, and Dark Zero over Mirage. So if you have your own predictions, feel free to leave them below. I always like to see your predictions, and then, I mean, maybe if you want to leave like just a little bit of a blurb to say why you think that, especially if it's contrary to anything I said here, feel free to do that. But if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, corrections, suggestions, any of that stuff, feel free to leave it below. Like and a subscription would also be appreciated. With all of that being said, catch you guys in the next video.